Texas license after 2 months. My Texas Psych NP license, let me be specific. Hey guys, it's Noreen and thank you for making it to my channel. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about how I finally got my Texas license after 2 months. My Texas Psych NP license, let me be specific, after 2 months. So I applied for my license. I took my test November 22nd, then I applied for the license November 24th because that's when I actually got the certification from the ANCC. So I applied for my license. I submitted everything quickly. So what you need for Texas is your school has to send them the verification of education. My school did that pretty quickly, and then you have to show them your ANCC certification. You can upload that yourself. Some states you can't. Some states the ANCC has to be sent directly to them. And then I also had to show them my transcript, which you would think the verification of education kind of includes that already, but whatever. So you just send them. So with that one, that's a third-party thing. You go to your school's website and then you would send them that through a third party. And I think those are the only requirements. You actually have to have your certification, verification of education, proof of your ANCC certification, and then your transcript. And so the total for Texas is $100, and then for $50 for your prescriptive authority, that's an additional $50. And then Texas also has that program that's included where you're able to like log in and you're able to check a patient's history of their any controlled substances. So I do think that's really cool. So yeah, the total for that was $150. So I submitted it November 24th. It was Thanksgiving weekend, so I knew there was going to be a little bit of delays with the holiday, but Texas is absolutely ridiculously notoriously slow. Like, it's no reason why somebody should have to wait 2 months to get their license. Like, that's crazy. Like, someone can be struggling waiting on a position and they're really holding them back, holding them up for 2 months. Like, no other state, I don't think any other state takes that long. I know some states take a few weeks or whatever, but 2 months is absolutely ridiculous. But anyways, so then I didn't hear from them until December 31st. They reached out to me and they said that basically, oh, you also need an RN license, right? You need either an RN license for Texas or you need a compact RN license. So I'm originally from Florida, so I do have a compact RN license. So then they reached out to me on the 31st saying either I need to apply for a Texas license by endorsement, which we know that would have taken forever, or I can just write them a letter declaring Florida as my primary home, and that would allow me to get my Texas NP license. And so that's what I ended up doing. So I immediately on December 31st, I wrote them that letter, and then you also have proof of your letter. My IRS documents have my home address, my Florida home address on them, so I was able to submit that. So I sent that to them December 31st, and then I already knew after that it was probably going to take another month. So I guess when you have to submit a new piece of information or form, it throws you back in the queue. So then that put me back in the whole 30-day situation. And so, which is just so ridiculous, but whatever, right? We're past it now. And so then on February 3rd, I finally got the congratulations, you now have your license, yada, yada, yada. So I finally have my Texas license, which now allows me to apply for positions in Texas, which I'm super happy and grateful for. But it was just really, the process was just not ideal. But yeah, so now I have my Texas license. And so I also have my Florida license. I'm originally from Florida. So I applied for the Texas license first. And then when I saw how long the process was taking, I was like, let me try. First, I was trying to try other states, and I was like, let me just try Florida since I'm actually from Florida and my RN license is from Florida. So I actually applied for my Florida license, and I literally got my Florida license in 48 hours. Like, how is it that Florida gets you your license in 2 days versus Texas 2 months? Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. And then I know a lot of people be like, oh, well, Florida be giving anybody licenses. That's not what they be talking about, okay? When they say that, oh, Florida give anybody licenses, they're talking about those RNs that go to these no-name schools, okay? Psych NP is a whole different ballgame. You have to have a certification, all sorts of stuff. So it's not the same thing. It's just Florida is actually more advanced versus Texas. They're more so, I don't want to say old school, but they have like people manually going through this versus Florida's is automated, and then they have the human beings on the back end double checking everything. So, and then the thing is too with Florida, Florida actually required more. So I forgot how much the application was. It was, I think it was maybe like 140 or something like that. I forgot how much it was, because the thing is I also had to pay for background check and fingerprinting. I didn't have to pay for that. I didn't have to do that for Texas. But Florida, I actually had to go to UPS, get my background check, and do fingerprints. So that was like $75 right there. Florida, they want your ANCC certification, but that has to be sent. Oh no, it was definitely more than $140 or whatever I said, because I actually had to request my ANCC certification from the ANCC, and that was $40, and that's for them to send it to Florida. I didn't have to send them my transcripts or anything like that. I think once you get the certification, they understand, obviously, if you got the certification, your education, all that makes sense. But that, I don't think I had to do any of that. So I think it was just the background check, the fingerprinting, the ANCC certification, and then obviously you have to have an RN license. And then you do have to fill out a financial responsibility, basically saying you don't have a collaborating physician because you're starting off. But in Florida, you do have to have a collaborating physician. Then also, to get your DEA registration for Florida, you have to have a collaborating physician in place. I did use NP collaborators. Now, so that was my process with Florida. Like I said, Florida took 48 hours. I was super grateful for that. That allowed me to be in a position to start seeing patients in Florida. Well, I saw one patient so far in Florida. So I'm grateful for that. So now I'm excited to see, now that I have my Texas license, what opportunities will be for me. But from what I'm seeing, that a lot of people are struggling finding employment in Texas and Florida as well. So I don't know, we will see. But yeah, I'm just super happy, super excited to finally have my Texas license after 2 months. Like, that's crazy. So yeah, that's just where we are. Just wanted to let you guys know that I finally got my license, and so we will see what will happen from here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys have any questions, let me know. And then also too, for those of you who are discouraged, probably stressed out or anything like that, just know that it is a process. Everybody goes through it. It is tough. I would say it is tough and rough for everybody, for almost everybody I know, okay, that has gone through some roughness in their situation, and well, I'll say in their journey. So just understand that it's part of the process. It's not just you. The other thing is, so now I have to figure out my DA situation with Texas, because I would have to pay another $888 to apply for my DEA for Texas. And then I'm almost certain I'm gonna need a collaborating physician, so that's a whole nother $500 that I would have to come up with for a collaborating physician in Texas. And so what I'm also wondering is like, is the market better in Texas? Like, do I need my DA for Florida? Because what you can do is you can transfer the state of your DEA address. Like, if I say I don't want to do prescribed substances in Florida anymore, I can transfer my DEA to Texas, and then I just won't be prescribing controlled substances in Texas. I would only be doing that. I mean, I wouldn't be doing it in Florida. I would be doing it for Texas, you know, at least until I'm able to afford, you know, afford 2 DEA registrations. So I don't know. Another thing that I know some people have been doing is just basically applying for a license in a full practice state like New York, New Jersey. So that's another option if that's something you want to go through. I don't know if I want to do that just yet, but we'll see. So that's just a few things I can think of on the top of my head. So yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thank you for watching.